My Melon. So in this video, I'm going to discuss all about elven decoration. I feel that as an elf and coming into elven consciousness, you start to really want to bring the outside into your own home. And I just wanted to give you some examples of some things. Right now in front of me, I have, so terrariums are really great. Oh, this one's really dusty. But I created like a little fairy a little fairy environment. And this is something that you can do on your own. It's really fun to kind of build your own little either fairy environment. You can make a little hobbit hole, you can make Rivendell, you can have a lot of fun with moss terrariums and really bring in that natural element to your home. Um, these are candles, so I have a lot of these where they're actually just like what you would see as an aspen tree. This is an aspen tree, and it's just got a little hole in there, and you can make them into candles that way. There are so many different types of things that you can have in your home that represent nature and feeling close to the elves. Um, there are just really wonderful ways that you can incorporate that into your style. You know, I don't have a lot of open space in the home that we have right now, but I truly love having lots of windows, lots of airy window space in order to put lots of plants, herbs, things like that. You can have vines growing out from, from your windows. You can incorporate even artificial flowers, artificial things into your home, although I highly recommend using natural ones so that you can feel more like you have the fresh air that's surrounding you, because plants do give off oxygen, so you will feel that difference between artificial plants and flowers and things versus the real ones. um, a lot of really great stores now, furniture stores, they are really kind of bringing in that element of the natural. So one of our things that we have this really awesome coat rack that actually looks like a tree. And it looks like it's just like a bare tree, and so you have the branches sticking out. Truly love that coat rack. There are so many different ways that you can also bring in the idea of color schemes. So I can't really show you around the house, but um, in my house we have a lot of, just browns and greens and grays and blues and things that you would normally see in nature. Not a whole lot of pop of color, but there is some types of colors, especially when we have fresh flowers cut and put out. Um, I do have a lot of crystals lying around, so I'll have my amethyst, I have a lot of geodes, I have a lot of salt lamps. Um, I really try to incorporate, crystals are really a great way of just making your home, feel more elven-like, because crystals are something that, we saw in Elrond. He had that beautiful selenite type of, I don't want to say like a podium, but it was like a table. And so when he read the map of the dwarves in The Hobbit, the moonlight was able to show where the where the door was, um, for Moria, for the dwarves. So it's just a really great way of incorporating the natural elements into your home and having that beautiful feeling that the elves do in their Rivendell. I mean, it's going to be very difficult to find a home that looks like Rivendell or looks like Lothlorien unless you live in a tree home. But you can bring that element. Everything just has to be very natural, rugged, um, crystals, moss, branch. There's so many do-it-yourself projects that are really beautiful and a great way of just expressing your elven nature. You can also, if you really wanted to, you can get prints or canvas wraps of Rivendell images. I have one in my bedroom. I truly love it. There are throws and pillows and things like that that you can incorporate the elvish design, which is kind of that swirl that Arwen wears with her. I don't know if you can see it, but let me see if I can bring it a little close. So when you have that swirl that kind of looks like a DNA coil going up, when you have that swirl of the even star, you can find it on pillows. You can find it on, in certain kind of bedspreads and blankets. You can, if you are a great sewer, you can create your own. There's different ways that you can incorporate this beautiful Rivendell look into your life. And also you can create Lothlorien too. You can bring in elements of almost looking like you're surrounded by trees. So I really highly suggest for those who feel very connected to the elves, start doing that with your home. Like, look around your home, see if you need to update it in any kind of way and bring the element of the nature into your home. Do you need more plants? Do you need more branches? Do you need to create something and get very creative? Do you need those elements in order for you to feel happy? Because an elf truly doesn't feel happy unless they're inside nature. And one of the ways that I have realized that I feel kind of depressed and down in my life is when I feel like I'm not surrounded by nature. I don't have that element. And so if you live in an area where you can't really get out a lot, there's not a whole lot of space around you as far as beautiful natural places, like if you're in the city, you can bring the element of the nature into your home. And there are lots of different ways that you can be creative about that. And I highly, highly suggest that, because I realized that over the years when I was decorating my own apartment before I was married, I wasn't incorporating that natural element. I was a very modern person. I loved like kind of the modern artsy abstract design. But then when I started to incorporate nature with that modern kind of abstract design, that's when I knew that I was aligning and connecting to my soul and feeling more elven-like, with this ability to surround myself in crystals, in natural trees and branches and natural things like that, that are going to bring me the sense that I am actually in nature. So definitely do that. I mean, there are so many wonderful things that you can look for online. Lots of great websites you can use. Etsy is wonderful. Even Bed Bath & Beyond and those larger stores, when you look up things with nature, like, you can actually find a lot. That design, that type of style, or decor design style is very popular. One of the things I put on my wedding registry, we actually ended up not getting, but that's okay because we're going to hold off until we get a different place, is these beautiful silverware that's like in the shape of branches. So, I mean, there's just so many different ways that you can incorporate that look into your own home. And when you do, you really will feel more like you are at home, and you'll feel more peaceful, and you won't want to leave because it'll be your own little, your own little secluded place. I can't really show you my living room area, but I have this beautiful vase with all of these moss branches like sticking out everywhere, and it just kind of frames my front area and my front window, and it looks like I have like a small tree. And then surrounding that, I have the crystals and I have candles everywhere, and then I have branches hanging down with stuffed birds. Like, they're not stuffed. They were just fabric birds from Etsy. I got them for the holidays from a friend. Really beautiful present. And it just kind of hangs down in front of the window, so it creates that 3D effect. And then I have like a birdhouse, like kind of in my home, like hanging down from the window. there's just lots of different creative ways that you can make yourself feel like you're actually living in a tree house or you're living in nature, in the woods. Um, and if you love the ocean, if you love the lake, if you love the element of water, you can definitely incorporate that. We do in our bathroom. Everything is more geared towards looking like it's, you know, in the ocean, and just gives like a very relaxing feel when you're in there. So there are just lots of fun ways that you can get very creative and have fun and create your own environment, because sadly we're not going to live in Rivendell, and even Peter Jackson had to make up Rivendell himself. In fact, you can go to Hobbitown, you can actually go and see where the hobbits lived. I mean, they kept that scene, or that movie set, still there in New Zealand, but Tolkien got his inspiration for Rivendell from Switzerland, from the Alps and the beautiful valleys there. And there is no structures there. So Peter Jackson had to create that set. But you know, if you get very creative, you can create your own look that will give you that feeling like you are in nature, that you are surrounded in that way. And that is the way that somebody who has an elven type of personality will feel most happy and will feel most comfortable at home. So I definitely advocate, you know, for you to get creative and surround yourself in nature in some way. And if you have even more money and more resources to use, then you can even have more fun as far as finding your own land and actually building a home that incorporates nature. I found this really amazing movie out there. I think it was either on YouTube, or I saw it on Facebook, where a family literally built a greenhouse over their home. So they have this glass greenhouse, they have their home inside, and then they have all the plants inside, and it creates their own heat, it creates their own fresh vegetables and fruits. I mean, it's incredible. They don't even have to go outside if they really didn't need to. But it's just, there's so many different unique ways that you can do that. And if you have your own land, you could even build your own treehouse community. You can live on, you know, live in a treehouse. My goal is to have a treehouse spa out in my backyard, so that eventually, like, I can go out there into the spa and just enjoy myself, and that would be really wonderful when we own a home. So when you own land, you can do far more than you can when you have like an apartment, or you have like a home where you know, you don't have a lot of space, lot of land space. But when you have a lot of land space, you can have a lot of fun in that way. But there are lots of creative ways that you can create your environment to look like Rivendell, Lothlorien, and Mirkwood Forest. You can create that beautiful environment that, you know, you love so much when you watch the movies. So I highly advocate for that. If you haven't thought of it yourself, you know, look around your home and find ways that you can start to get creative, change the decoration around your home so that it aligns more to your natural spirit inside of you, so that when you are home, you feel more comfortable and just more happy, and, you know, proud that this is your land. This is your elven land that you live in. So, hand and light for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.